And you and I both know it's the kind of pick that doesn't often get a fan base really excited. But I know who is excited. Their quarterback. He won't get hit as much, and that should improve the rest of the offense as well.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver one, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
Jackson running again. First down and more for Jackson. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. We are in the first quarter. We get you back to the action to see how this defense can do on this upcoming drive. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Yannick Ngakoue. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Well, as we get ready for third down, let's go back and recap here. The sack on the first play of this drive, that threw a wrench in what they were trying to accomplish because they were compelled to throw the ball on second down. A running play was not in the works. And that incompletion set up another passing down here on third and long.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. Early on in the game, first quarter. Let's see how this defense does on this drive. The drive will start with an option going left. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Jackson looking to throw on third. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. With it is Jackson. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Raiders offense now making their way back out. Been a nice showing here in the first half for this defense. Will that trend continue? Time to find out.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
So, CD, big changes for 2021. Of course, last year we had the expansion from 6 to 7 teams in each conference making the playoffs. This year, the headline, the addition of a 17th regular season game. What did you think when you heard the news that this was happening?
Well, my first thought, partner, was finally, because we've heard about a 17th game coming for a long time, and now here it is. So the beautiful part about all of it is that 17th game is going to be like these interdivision, interconference type games that are going to match up and play out over a 4-year period. And that's kind of cool. And I was looking forward to seeing some of the matchups that were going to come out of that for that 17th game. And could that be the game that decides a bunch of division titles?
Well, another fine run right there for Lamar Jackson. And CD, that one puts him over 100 yards now for the ball game.
And remember when all we talked about were 100-yard games from running backs? That when a quarterback did it was a surprise. But Lamar Jackson, that's part of the package as well. He'll have as many 100-yard games in the season as the top running backs in the league.
Now an option play on second down.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Ravens have taken the lead. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete here to his receiver Brown. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. To throw again on second down. Jackson.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
That helps the completion percentage, but not much else. And now it's 3rd and 10. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds.
Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there.
Now Jackson on first down.
They try to set up the screen. Oh, nearly disaster, but it's incomplete. Not much chance of that working. Almost intercepted. It's second down.
And Jackson throwing once more.
He gets this underneath to Dobbins.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
From the gun, it's Jackson.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try.
From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete here.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
To throw again on second down, Jackson. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it. So we're in the third quarter. We'll see how this defense handles the upcoming drive as the offense takes over with a 1st and 10.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another run here with Dobbins.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. From the gun, Jackson. And the Raiders have got him. Credit the sack to Jonathan Hankins.
We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage, and that time they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
A 41-yard.